Kevin, what can we say after this weekend with 0 points?
Well, what can you say? It's not fun, and it's frustrating, of course. You know, last night we played in Geneva, and scoring chance-wise, outchanced them 5-2 in the first period in a building that's a hard building to go in and play, and that's coming off our longest bus trip of the year. So we were really happy with the way we started the game last night in Geneva. But you need a goal in the when you outchance them 5-2 and outshoot them in the first period. You need a goal so you play with a lead in that game. So we took the long bus ride home and regrouped for tonight, and I don't know. We played Zug the first game and won. We had an unbelievable goaltending effort from Nolan in that first game, and we lost by the same score tonight. And the little bit of gap that I think we closed on teams in the exhibition, a little bit that has disappeared. And you're curious about the lockout and the fact, Diaz, Bruner, and Zetterberg. I think the gap opened back up again between us and a team like Zug based on their ability to take advantage of the lockout a little and get 3 good players. We don't want to use that as an excuse. There's some things we had to do better tonight. One was not give Bruner the open ice and the breakaways that we did. So there's some things we didn't do good, but those kind of players make differences in games too. And you saw the goals Zetterberg scored, all are just very quality goal scorers' goals. So all of those things are factors in a pointless weekend.
A big problem that it seems to me that Ambri have is that it's difficult to find the balance. When you are building some more scoring chances, then you also give many more scoring chances to the others.
Well, I know that in the beginning of the year, if you looked at our first about 7 games, we gave up way too much on the defensive side. We do think we have a little better offensive team this year, but in those first games we were giving up too much on the defensive side. And then for 5 straight games going into tonight, we gave up less scoring chances on average than we have over the last 2 years. So we finally were playing a very solid defensive game, which has to be your foundation, and then you've got to add your offense on top of that. And tonight that wasn't the case. So tonight was a step backward after 5 really good nights of playing the type of game we have to play, the balance that you're talking about, where you have good defensive game and then you build on it with some offense. That balance certainly wasn't there tonight.
You need more goals. You need more goals, maybe especially from the strongest offensive players, like the import players should be.
Well, yeah, it's so fun around here to say imports. We're just a team that we got to find offense from our team, and so it's not just imports. It's the ability of everyone, Swiss players, imports, to do all of the things. So I don't like separating the team into imports and not imports. That doesn't seem fair.
What can you say about the Pacioretty's departure?
Well, I mean, it's disappointing to not have 5 imports in case you need 5 imports. He went through not playing for 3 games, and 2 of those there's no way he could have played because he was just too sick to play. The 3rd game he might have been able to play, but our team had played well in Rapperswil. We wanted to leave it alone, and I think that was the right decision. We got to win against Davos, but he was suffering from 2, not just 1, 2 what we would call tennis elbows for it's just some tendonitis in your elbows, and he really was having problems even stretching his arms out completely, and certainly stick handling and the wrist shots were very painful. So he needed to get healthy. He couldn't have played for us, and if this lockout ends, he couldn't have played for Montreal, and if the lockout doesn't end and he gets healthy, he'll be back playing for us. So it was even though a lot of people would like to talk a lot of things around it, it was just an injury that needed to get healed. So we feel bad he left because he's a big, strong kid who could help us, but until he gets healthy, he's not going to help anybody.
So would you like to take someone else waiting for him?
Well, you always want to have 5 because you're only 1 injury away from playing with 3. So, I mean, that's something that, every time we've gotten down to only 4 imports, we've tried to look into that. So So that's something we're looking into. But the whole NHL and lockout situation is kind of frozen right now because of the negotiating that's been gone on in the last week. No one's really doing much in terms of players moving because they were hoping by the end of this week they could get the deal settled. Now, if the lockout looks like it's going to last longer and the current negotiations take a turn for the worse, then I think, again, we would look into getting Max back if he can get healthy or whatever other options are available to us.